everybody, and welcome back. So we're at Mrs. Holsworth's in Fort Mara Library today, and I've just been kind of like looking around this place and exploring everything, and then I saw Mrs. Holsworth had a little quest. So let's talk to her for a little bit. Oh, let me rub the dust from my eyes and get a good look at you. My dearies, is everyone healthy and safe? Yes, we are healthy and safe. We sure are, Mrs. Holsworth. Do you have any news? Yes, about the primordial trees, also called life wardens. I deciphered some garbled old text in the spidery handwriting. The author of the pages observed that most primordial trees have fallen into slumber, and believe that they should be awakened in order to hasten the rebirth of a deed. Apparently, other primordial trees do not fare so well. I am paraphrasing here. Some tree roots have become unwillingly entangled in Garnock's tendrils, and have turned malicious. Corrupted primordial trees can be purified by the keepers of Edene, but should those efforts fail, the tree shall be peeled or felled. Furthermore, according to this unknown writer, the old primordial trees have a tendency to fly into a rage if they feel they have been tricked by humans' false minds, and the fury of a primordial tree certainly does not go unnoticed. Wait, so how many primordial trees are there? And who would try to trick a tree? I've long suspected that there are a good number of primordial trees we are unaware of. Jorvik flourished under their protection long ago, before they were exploited as a resource for building materials. I suppose there's one way to trick a tree. Also, according to these old writings, some witches have entered a covenant with the primordial trees in order to strengthen their own magical powers. Whether or not this was beneficial to the tree is unknown, as it seems that both good and evil witches have drawn magic from the trees, with varying results. What do you think of this, Heather? Well, I think that's cruel. The tree should be found. What does that mean? What are you doing? Cat underneath me. The moving tree roots definitely look... I've heard of that word before. It means it should be chopped down. That's terrible, chopping down a primordial tree. Well, we have a task for the future. Locate all the primordial trees and heal any that might be bounded by evil. All the greener grass on Jorvik, I never hope to see one chopped again. Well, I never hope to see a life warden that can't be saved. So we're looking after the trees. I'll go back to my research. Beatrix, please find a good book for our tea time reading. You kids run off and have some fun. I'll get a message to you when I have some new information. Good luck, dearies. Hello there. Would you believe I found a scrap of a journal entry that I believe was written by Galloper Thompson himself? I would have it authorized by an archaeologist, but I'm 99% sure it's his genuine handwriting. Please read it to us. There I was abandoned by all my men, left to do the work that I'm sure will rain misfortune down upon all of us. Curse the Jarl. His tone sounded bitter, don't you think? It was mighty hard labor to go at the stones. Good thing I have my splitting mouth from Maris, infused as it is with his special powers. Magnus Steen, that's a name you soul riders are familiar with. And then one final cracked under the furious blow. A woman, for I think it was a woman, did appear upon me. A woman, you say? Or could it be? Whether she was called hence from the crack of the stone, or had been watching my work, I couldn't say. She floated towards me with a hand outstretched. An antler of a Steen adorned on her head. Curls tumbled out from the hood of her cloak. Oh yes it is, oh my! She was terrifying, but I was curious to feel afraid. And then she spoke. Her words were, and that's where it ends. The rest of the page appears to be blackened by flames. Well, that's exactly like the ghost story. This poor fellow was doing Giles' dirty work, then met a vile witch. Could it possibly be our vile witch? Maybe not ours, but you know, the one we saw. Well, yes, it could possibly be the same witch. It's definitely a sort of fact from fiction about Vals, but the legend it has these witches are ancient. I met Magnustine in the Stonecutter's vault, right? What is a splitting mal? I already know what that is from the Halloween quest. A woman, as in plural witches. Come on, you know there has to be a coven. Good old Magnus, who smashed the runestone as a human and helped the druids as a ghost. Go figure. We should uncover more about the Val as my research continues. Come back to the grind, so to speak. You don't want your kids to participate in some race or something. Beatrix and I have some reading to do. We'll let you know when we have more information. Toodaloos. Do you have more information? We could do this forever. Great news, kiddos. I finally got my hands on a historical comprehension manuscription of Jorvik. What? The what? Yeah, the what? Blah. They don't teach you Latin at school anymore. Let's just refer to it as Big Book of Witches. It is a comprehensive whatever, of all known historical magnagraphs and research of Jorvik witches. I found a very interesting account of the Val. It suggests that they migrated to Jorvik long ago, so they're not native to Jorvik, but they came somewhere to Jorvik. Okay. Earlier, even then, Yao. I'm forgetting people's names. Perhaps around the same time as the Coulter, they're the people who live in Dino Valley. The writers believe few individual witches or perhaps a small covenant travelled here from the shores of Finland or the forests of northern Germany. Amazing. Oh, so near Germany. Wow, that's over 800 years ago. But why didn't we see them out in the open like you or even Pi? Excellent question. The answer is also in our comprehensive Big Book of Witches. I'm not sure whose hand wrote this, but it is very old. The style of language and writing suggests this is a druid, recounting what happened between the Val and Joan Jal. Listen closely to this. And on the dark day, the few remaining Val gathered deep in the heart of Devil's Gap, their hearts bended upon the vengeance and spite for the treason committed by John Jal and his household. They cursed the lands about their mountain retreat, laying a wasting curse upon the fertile fields and forests that surround it. So there is a curse on... I'm gonna guess that it must be affecting Maya's unfortunate Drew farm she has up there, because the ground was already cursed before her family moved back into that location. So that's why they can't grow anything up there, because there's a curse on it. It also... Would it be affecting Greendale? I don't think so. It might be affecting the top of Jarlheim, because there are some dead trees just scattered around in that area. That's kind of very sad though. The curse comes with great price. It also affects the health of the Wild Weave. What? Wild Weave. Interesting. I want to say wild, but it wants me to say wild. And prevented the restoration of the Life Warden trees. This, combined with the required magic to seal their Thank you. Against intruders resulted in a strict lash upon the Val's morality across Jorvik. This confirms what has been long suspected in witchy circles. The Val are more or less trapped within the confines of the Devil's Gap. I say more or less, because there has been reports of strange sightings and events over the years. You know a lot about the Forgotten Fields, right, Linda? Oh, wait, what's that? Has anyone travelled? I guess they couldn't trap themselves. The story of the Forgotten Fields is heartbreaking. I doubt the Jarls people meant to ravage their forest, but in their haste to build Jarlaheim, they were not good stewards of the land. They inadvertently cut down on the primordial trees. I suppose this is what infuriated the Val. Tragic. Curses are always tragic. You may think of me as an old flubber-dubby, but I say it's better to talk things out. By the time John Jarl's great children were bouncing their babies on their knees, the Val witches were talked of only as folklore, superstition, and figures used to frighten unruly children. I need to get cracking on collecting more information on the wild weed. Weed is a very old word for meaning forest, so forest... Can't say the second word now. Forest weave. I think you'll agree that's a very good clue to follow. Don't we have a photo of it somewhere in this place? I think I remember that. I'm going to dive back into the sacks. You kids should go out and get some more fresh air. Don't get in any type of trouble now.